The Republic of Texas. Texas' Last Stand for Faith and Freedom. Gary Bray, author. Linda and Mike Gordon, narrators. Table of Contents. Introduction. Chapter 1. A Storm is Brewing. Chapter 2. Moses Oil. Chapter 3. The Storm Builds. Chapter 4. Texas Responds. Chapter 5. Resolution 2033-311. Chapter 6. The Great Debate. Chapter 7. Texas Decides. Chapter 8. The New York Christian Church. Chapter 9. The Storm Hits. Chapter 10. The Winds Rage. Chapter 11. The Eye of the Storm. Chapter 12. The Final Fury. Introduction. Stephen Moses stepped out of his black stallion hoverjet, wearing his dress khaki slacks and cowboy boots, as the hot Texas wind whipped him across the face. That south wind brings not only a sweltering humidity, but a heat that cooks you to the core. Stephen was a tall man with muscular, chiseled looks, the kind you get from years of hard work in the oil fields. He grew up as a rigger, where he was well known for working hard, and playing even harder in his early years. His well-trimmed beard looked as good on his wildcatter rigs as it did in the boardroom in his Wrangler suit and boots. Women noticed him immediately, with his thick blondish-brown hair and the way he filled out his shirts with his barrel chest and wide shoulders from years of wrestling pipe in the Texas oil patch. Most folks were drawn to him, being the most powerful man in Texas and the richest man in the world. Stephen has been married to his job ever since his wife Sandy succumbed to cancer 7 years ago. He still wore his wedding ring to remind himself of the years together, and to deal with the pain he still felt in his heart. The turn of the century seems like an eternity ago, he thought. We had the rise of the markets, the attack on the towers, and the recession, followed by the 2025 depression, which led to Texas seceding from the Union and declaring its sovereignty. Now Texas, in 6 short years, has grown into the most powerful country on the planet, with Moses Oil and its conglomerates proudly standing as the largest company in Texas. Sandy would never have believed what had happened. Stephen Moses grew up in the oil patch as a third-generation wildcatter. His dad and grandfather never made much money, but they did what they loved, gambling on oil wells. Sandy Sanderson was his high school first love. They married after he graduated from Texas Tech with honors in engineering. They were married for 8 years before she found a lump in her breast, which was malignant. It slowly tore her away from him. He never loved anybody else, and simply married his work and research, which is why he kept wearing his wedding ring. His research had led him to a patent on a chemical compound that thins oil 10,000 feet underground, allowing companies like his to reclaim old dry wells. Oil wells before Moses Additives were only able to profitably pump half of what was in the reservoir. They were then abandoned as they began to drill down to another reservoir and then another. After he invented the Moses Additive, it was like pumping free oil. Stephen would buy the abandoned wells for pennies on the dollar. Then with his additives, they once again became productive, and oil was easy to produce without having to drill, making him and everyone around him very wealthy people. When the Great Collapse happened, it bankrupted almost every state in the old United States, and especially those with spending out of control, like New York and Maryland and California, making for tough times for their citizens and businesses. America was so desperate financially that when Texas voted and offered to buy their way out of the Union, the rest of the states jumped at the chance. The Texas secession bill passed the U.S. Congress in a couple of months and was signed by the President to form the Republic of Texas, a country built on cheap energy and free and unfettered energy markets. It was a chance Texans were willing to
Sample complete. Ready to continue?